What's the right thing to do? It's a question we ask ourselves all the time, right? From the huge, life-changing decisions down to the little everyday choices. In this explainer, we're going to dig into some ancient wisdom to look for a guide, a powerful idea called Dharma, drawing lessons directly from foundational texts to find some clarity in our pretty complex world.
I mean, we all struggle with this, don't we? At your job, with your family, in your neighborhood, you're always trying to do the right thing, to feel like what you're doing has a purpose. But man, there's so many things pulling you in different directions. How do you know for sure you're on the right track? How do you even begin to figure out what your real duty is?
Well, this is where ancient wisdom gives us a really cool concept to work with. It's called Dharma. Now, you might hear it translated as just religion, but oh, it is so much more than that. Think of it as, well, your righteous duty, the cosmic order of things, and maybe most importantly, your own personal path to living in tune with your true purpose. Okay, so to really get our heads around Dharma, let's dive into one of the most incredible texts out there, the Bhagavad Gita. It gives us this really powerful lesson on how to act, introducing this idea of a path of selfless action. Okay, so picture this. You're a legendary warrior, Arjuna, standing on a battlefield, but you're completely frozen. Why? Because you're about to fight your own family, your own teachers. It's an impossible choice. He says his mind is puzzled with regard to duty. I mean, how human is that? He knows he's supposed to do something, but the right path is just completely gone. He can't see it. And this image, right from the scripture, just captures that feeling perfectly. You can almost feel the crisis. Arjuna is basically surrendering all his confusion to his guide, Krishna, begging for some clarity. And look, this isn't just some old story. It's something we've all felt. That moment you feel totally lost and need guidance. So what Krishna says next is, wow, it's a game changer. He doesn't just say fight or don't fight. He gives Arjuna a totally new way to think about it. He says, go on, do your duty, but do it without attachment. This idea is the very heart of what's called karma yoga, this path of selfless action. But what on earth does that actually mean, to act without being attached?
Let's break it down. So on the one hand, you've got action with attachment. This is when your mind is just constantly buzzing about the outcome. What's in it for me? What if I mess up? What are people going to say? And focusing on all that stuff, it's a surefire recipe for stress and anxiety. But then there's the other way, acting without attachment. This is where you pour all your energy into the task itself, doing your best simply because it's the right thing to do. The goal isn't what you get out of it, but the peace and freedom that come from just doing your duty.
Okay, that's a really powerful concept, right? But it can still feel a little up in the clouds. So what does this selfless duty actually look like in the real world? What happens when you're not a warrior having a crisis, but maybe a leader responsible for, well, everyone? All right, for our next piece of the puzzle, we're going to jump into a story from another ancient text, the Brahma Purana. And this one isn't about an inner struggle, it's all about action. It's the story of an ideal king and what it means to live out your Dharma. So meet King Prithu, and he's got a huge problem. His kingdom is in the grip of a terrible famine. People are starving, and in this scene, he's actually confronting the earth itself, which has taken the form of a cow. But you have to understand, he's not angry for himself. He's angry for his people. His entire purpose as king, his whole Dharma, is at stake.
This was it. This was his entire reason for being, his role in the grand scheme of things. His own comfort, his own fame, totally irrelevant. The only thing that mattered was his sacred duty to protect and provide for his subjects. He got it. Being king wasn't about having power. It was about service.
And he didn't just stand there shouting either. He took action. He didn't see the earth as something to conquer. He saw it as a partner, something to be nurtured. So he organized his entire kingdom. He set up systems for cultivating the land. He established mines. He built cities. He literally laid the foundation for a prosperous society. Every single move with his Dharma in action. And the result of all this? Well, by focusing completely on his duty, without any selfish motive, King Prithu didn't just stop the famine. No, he brought back abundance and balance to the entire world. His righteous actions sent out these ripples of prosperity. This is what Dharma looks like when you put it into practice. It's a force that creates order, harmony, and well-being for everyone. So, we've looked at a warrior dealing with this massive inner conflict, and a king dealing with a huge crisis out in the world.
Two amazing examples from these ancient texts. But let's be real. The big question is, what does any of this have to do with us? Right here, today. How do we find Dharma in our own lives? It doesn't matter if you're a warrior like Arjuna staring down a moral dilemma or a leader like Prithu trying to save a society. The core principle is exactly the same. Dharma is about understanding your unique role in the world, whether you're a parent, a student, an artist, a doctor, a friend, and then doing that role with everything you've got, with integrity, with selflessness, and with your focus on doing the work, not just on what you'll get for it.
So take a second and think about all the different hats you wear in your own life. What does it mean for you to act with integrity in each of those roles? What's the unique thing that only you can bring to the table? In a world that is constantly pulling us in a million different directions, maybe the most powerful, most grounding question we can ask ourselves is the same one these ancient texts have been asking for thousands of years. What is your Dharma?